Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the heated debate surrounding Project 2025 and its implications for the upcoming elections. If you've been following the news, you might have heard Vice President Kamala Harris slamming this policy roadmap at the recent debate. So, what's the fuss all about? Let's break it down. Project 2025, led by the Conservative Heritage Foundation with support from over 100 other conservative groups, is a comprehensive plan for the next conservative administration, particularly a Trump presidency. It features a LinkedIn-style database for potential presidential appointees, training programs for executive branch roles, and an unreleased playbook outlining actions Trump should take during his first 180 days in office. Vice President Harris has criticized it as a dangerous agenda, while Trump distances himself from the project despite its roots in his former administration. Let's start with the core proposals of Project 2025. Healthcare. Project 2025 does not aim to repeal the Affordable Care Act, but it proposes substantial Medicaid cuts and the introduction of work requirements for eligibility. It also seeks to reform Medicare by making Medicare Advantage a paid supplement, the default option for patients. Education. Project 2025 focuses on a school choice initiative, allowing public funds to be used for private or religious school tuition. It also prohibits the teaching of critical race theory in schools that receive federal funding and supports legislation enabling parents to sue schools for perceived misconduct, such as teaching contentious topics or requiring students to share information about their religious beliefs. Student loans. Efforts to provide student loan relief, including the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program and income-driven repayment plans, would be terminated, with the proposal asserting that borrowers should be responsible for repaying their loans. Transgender rights. Project 2025 firmly opposes transgender rights and gender identity beyond biological sex. It includes reinstating the ban on transgender individuals serving in the military, prohibiting public school educators from using anything other than a student's birth name and pronouns without parental consent, and ensuring no federal funds are allocated for gender-affirming care. DEI and LGBTQ rights. The plan aims to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI programs across the federal government and universities. While it does not seek to ban same-sex marriage, it promotes nuclear families consisting of a married mother, father, and their children, and advocates for limiting anti-discrimination laws based on sex to exclude protections for sexual orientation and gender identity. Taxes. Project 2025 would seek to get rid of current tax rates and most deductions and credits, instead proposing a 15% rate for anyone under the Social Security wage base, $168,000 in 2024, and 30% for taxpayers earning more than that, which means the lowest income taxpayers will now pay more and some higher earners will pay less, and it would also lower the corporate income tax rate to 18%. Federal Reserve. The project seeks to reform the Federal Reserve by taking the monetary steering wheel out of its hands and returning it to the people, which the authors propose could be done by getting rid of the government's control over the nation's money entirely, instead leaving it up to banks or returning to the gold standard in which the dollar's value would be tied to a specific weight of gold personnel. Project 2025 aims to significantly increase the number of political appointees aligned with the president within the executive branch, replacing many of the current nonpartisan career civil servants. It includes a proposal for an executive order to place political appointees in roles involving confidential, policy determining, policy making, or policy advocating position, similar to an action taken by Trump at the end of his presidency, which was later reversed by President Joe Biden. Federal agencies. The plan advocates for a smaller federal government, suggesting the elimination of several agencies, such as the Department of Education, Department of Homeland Security, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The remaining functions of these agencies would either be integrated into other departments or privatized, including the Transportation Security Administration. Justice Department, Project 2025 proposes a complete overhaul of the DOJ and FBI, eliminating what it describes as an unaccountable bureaucratic managerial class and radical left ideologues. The plan envisions an agency more focused on addressing violent crime and pursuing litigation aligned with the president's agenda, with a greater number of political appointees. Additionally, it seeks to prevent the FBI from investigating misinformation or taking politically motivated actions against U.S. citizens. Abortion. Project 2025 does not exactly advocate for an abortion ban, but seeks to impose significant restrictions. This includes directing the FDA to revoke approval for the abortion pill mifepristone, and using the Comstock Act to prevent abortion-related equipment or medication from being mailed, which advocates argue could effectively ban abortion. It also proposes barring federal funds from covering abortion services and requiring states to report all abortions to the federal government. Climate Change Project 2025 aims to dismantle much of the federal government's climate initiatives. This includes withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement, restructuring the Department of Energy to prioritize oil and natural gas over renewable energy, reducing the Department of Agriculture's emphasis. Big Tech. The plan includes banning TikTok and calls for reforms to Section 230, which protects tech companies and social media platforms from liability for user content. It also supports laws like those in Florida and Texas that aim to penalize social media companies for banning or suspending users based on their viewpoints. Foreign Relations. Project 2025 prioritizes confronting China, labeling it a totalitarian enemy of the United States. It also advocates for the U.S. to withdraw from international organizations, such as the World Health Organization and certain UN agencies, when they do not align with the administration's interests. Critics warn that some of these changes could disrupt the balance of power within the government and have far-reaching consequences. Now, let's talk about Trump's involvement. While Trump denies any direct connection to Project 2025, many of its architects are former members of his administration. This raises questions about how much he knows and his potential influence on the project's development. If re-elected, could Trump adopt some of these proposals? His track record suggests it's a possibility, as he did implement a significant portion of the Heritage Foundation's 2016 policy blueprint during his first term. Despite Trump's claims of distancing himself from Project 2025, its existence underscores the ongoing influence of conservative think tanks on Republican policymaking. If implemented, these proposals could significantly reshape the American political landscape, potentially leading to a more conservative and polarized society. The controversy around Project 2025 has only intensified after Trump publicly disavowed it. This sparked accusations of hypocrisy and attempts to downplay his connections to the project's creators. The debate has further polarized the political landscape, with Democrats using it as a rallying cry against Trump's potential return to power. Key figures behind Project 2025 include former Trump administration officials, conservative activists, and organizations like the Alliance Defending Freedom and Turning Point USA. Their involvement highlights the project's roots in the conservative movement and its potential to advance a conservative agenda if implemented. So what does this mean for you? The high stakes of the upcoming election can't be overstated. Depending on the outcome, we could see significant policy shifts that will shape the future of American democracy. Whether you support or oppose Project 2025, it's crucial to stay informed and engaged. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.